This is another battle from the first round of the random New Year's Flash tournament, where the factions are chosen by the random number gods, not the players themselves and not by me. So this matchup is between SITH PBlue commanding Getae and Hamilkar Barka commanding Carthage. And what are the chances of Hamilkar Barka being able to use Carthage? Pretty cool. And what are the chances of SITH Blue getting a blue faction icon as the Getae? Too many coincidences. Illuminati confirmed. So, front line consisting of, I guess we have 6 armored spears. I can't really see the entire army, so I'll just go over Carthage's army first and Hamilkar's. We have 5 Libyan infantry, mercenary Getae, mercenary Iberian swords on the flanks, 2 Balearic slingers, 3-4 Carthaginian cavalry in the center, late Libyan Hoplite meat shield, and yeah, nice build from Carthage there. No elephants. Elephants against Getae. Super risky because of the horse skirmishers and the horse archers. Here we have Dacian spears, just standard spears, and I love the look of the Dacian units. They look decidedly barbarian and fierce. Everything about them is just straight up cool. Look at these badasses. Armored spears, great units. If they had javelins, they would be OP, but they don't, so they are not. They're very good, but javelins would make them ridiculously good. So spears in the back, very spear heavy build this. It almost looks like they expected elephants, so yeah. These spears and these Thracian cavalry sort of gives away that Getae is prepared to face elephants, but Carthage didn't bring any. Hamilkar didn't bring any elephants. Which, to be honest, against the Getae is the smart choice. Mercenary axe warriors and noble swords in the rear, and that's the thing with Getae. The Getae can bring a lot of men to the battlefield. They lack good mid-tier melee infantry, but they sort of make up for it with having such faction diversity. But they can struggle a lot against factions that can bring many cost-effective swords. And Carthage, I missed this, Carthage also has mercenary noble fighters. So they are more than a match for the noble swords of the Getae. And that is significant, that Carthage had the mercenary noble fighters. Some nice speed bump units here for Dacia, or for Getae. But speed bumps that don't have javelins are not as effective as speed bumps or meat shields that do have javelins. Being able to throw that one volley into the backs of retreating infantry or into cavalry passing by is so amazing compared to just being able to get charged, basically. Have a look at the Iberian swords with their soliferums. They don't actually have soliferums in the database, which sucks. So they only have 29 missile damage instead of 32. But the Scutari have soliferums, or at least 32 missile damage with their precursor javelins. I think they have the soliferum model as well on there. So, okay, for Getae we have, in addition to the swords and the axes and the spears, we have 2 Dacian heavy skirmishers, some Folksmen support, and Getae is just moving straight at Carthage here. In a very, let's call it very unusual formation. Because engaging the center of Carthage with spears here is suicide. Unless the spears are meant to tie down and then the swords follow up in close support. That could work, that could absolutely work. Here we have the late Libyan Hoplites just stopping 2 units from getting decent charges. The armored spears, let's see how they do against the mercenary Getae. Yeah, not great on the charge. Not great at all. Carthaginian cavalry going into the mercenary Thracian cavalry and knocking down the spears. Problem is, mercenary axe warriors in close support. These spears are going to start killing a lot of Carthaginian cavalry if the Carthaginian cavalry doesn't get away. Libyan infantry, the armored spears stop the charge, but the mercenary noble fighters are going to destroy the armored spears. And the question is what happens when the noble swords start charging in, and they really need to start charging in soon, because these armored spears are about to break. So on the flanks, not looking great for Getae there either. Mercenary Iberian swords just pouring the fire into the mercenary axe warriors. And this, it looks like the mercenary axe warriors are sort of getting mis-microed here. All across the line, Carthage doing fairly well, holding off the noble swords, coming with the mercenary noble fighters against the mercenary axe warriors. Not a good engagement for the mercenary axe warriors. The mercenary axe warriors are going to get just destroyed by the mercenary noble fighters. No chance at all. Mercenary axe warriors breaking through there. The armored spears are holding the mercenary Getae for some time, but they are not really being effective at the moment. And look at the mercenary axe warriors. These guys are just getting destroyed. Libyan infantry getting destroyed by noble swords. Perhaps most interesting engagements going on here on the flanks, with Carthage holding off the Getae advance. The Libyan infantry holding off well against the armored spears. Some Carthaginian cavalry just standing around and getting rear charged by Folksmen. That is a bad time to be... or mercenary Getae cavalry actually. So they're going to start running away. They do not like being engaged by Folksmen. But again, Folksmen do not like being fired upon by Balearic slingers. So we should see the Folksmen start to drop significantly. Still, Carthage is doing well in the center. Mercenary noble fighters up against noble swords. They're probably going to lose in the end, but they do have help from their strategist general. That's going to allow them to both headhunt and battle rhythm. But the noble sword general of Getae also has the headhunt battle rhythm going for him. So the mercenary noble fighters are losing decisively. But still, there isn't a whole lot of Getae left on the field now. Some noble swords here, sure. Some spears, but the units on the flanks here are very depleted. Looks, these noble swords are losing decisively due to being charged in the rear by the mercenary noble fighters. So when this unit breaks, and it will break, then the general of Getae is going to be in a lot of trouble. We need a second wind here, please, against the on the mercenary noble fighters. Come on, second wind. Maybe he didn't have it ready yet. So, looks like Carthage is just grinding it out against the Getae here. The Getae general pulling out, being charged by the general's bodyguard. And this is going to allow the mercenary noble fighters to stay in the fight longer, and it's going to allow them to attack the noble swords in the rear if they take that opportunity. Taking a lot of damage from Libyan infantry throwing their javelins here. And now the general of Getae is not going to do well. He's going to get rear charged by the general's bodyguard. Engagements going on over here with the mercenary Getae getting smashed by Dacian heavy skirmishers and the mercenary Thracian cavalry. Here the Iberian swords are winning against the mercenary axe warriors. Iberian swords, with their high melee defense and decent melee attack, can do well against a unit like axe warriors that has low base damage. Charge incoming against the noble swords. Just a bunch of units going up against the noble swords in the center here. They are getting a lot of kills, but I guess it would be a good idea for Hamilkar to pull out his Libyan infantry now and go for rear charges instead of just grinding it out frontally. Still, they are going to win here, but they would just win faster if they were pulled out and moved around. So, general's bodyguard, nope, just using second wind on these mercenary noble fighters, taking down the mercenary Thracian cavalry. The Dacian heavy skirmishers are rushing in against the mercenary Iberian swords. They should be able to defeat the mercenary Iberian swords. Balearic slingers fighting up against Thracian cavalry and Dacian heavy skirmishers, and the mercenary Thracian cavalry is a lot worse than the Thracian cavalry available for the Adrian Kingdom. So either they need a price reduction or they need stat boost to be as good as their vanilla counterpart. It would be like mercenary Celtic warriors being worse than standard Celtic warriors and costing the same. Like, you wouldn't bring them if that was the case. And the bow horse are a superior choice for the Getae because the mercenary Thracian cavalry sucks so hard for their price. So the noble swords are going down in the center. Then these noble swords, they've done a lot of killing, but when the general dies and there is so much Carthage left on the field, there isn't really much they can do. The army is losing, and that's a GG. So another instance where Carthage outswords the Getae. But if you look at the kills here, if you look at which units did well and which units didn't, you can see that Getae probably prepared for elephants. And what they came up against was Carthaginian sword build. And look at the kills on the mercenary Iberian swords. Very impressive display. The mercenary noble fighters also do well. Some of the cavalry did okay. But these units here, the armored spears, they basically cost Getae the game. So it's going to be a gamble when you come up against Carthage. Because if Carthage brings an elephant and Getae goes pure sword rush, then Getae can be in trouble. But I think that just bringing 3 or 4 bow horse would be enough to shut down any sort of elephant attack. And when you have the Dacian heavy skirmishers, look at the kills on these guys. Having more skirmishers, having more noble swords, would probably be a good idea for the Getae. And I am skeptical of just bringing the mercenary Thracian cavalry, not bringing any spear horse or any bow horse. I think that would have made the battle a lot easier for SITH Blue. But well played to both players. Thanks for participating in the tournament. It was nice to see this faction matchup because it's a matchup that you don't see very often. So I hope you enjoyed the battles. I know I did. Strength and honor.